Okay, so we're waiting for somebody to insult me, and then us to make fun of Jeff, and then Jeff.
No, we're waiting for Chrissy to stop cursing. Anyway, the music has started. Welcome to Everyone Racers, a podcast designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. Whatever kind of LeChamp or track dog you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate. We even think you Drifto hella flush guys are, right? As long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news and notes from the world of low buck racing, and if you can handle it, Chrissy will give you just the tip. I'll be your pit marshal. My name is Jeff. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Mental.
And we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for coming back to another groovy episode of podcast.
It's not a question. It's not a question. It's a statement. We're groovy.
This groovy podcast. Welcome to episode 23 and happy belated Valentine's Day to all of our lovely listeners.
And happy belated birthday to one mental guy.
Yes, one mental guy. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And we can hear you typing, so that's annoying. Welcome to our special guest, Eric.
Who do you think you are, Steph Schrader? You haven't paid her dues, pal.
Our special guest.
Hey.
Stop.
I'm going to eat some pork rinds next.
Hi, Eric. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, how's it going? And as someone who podcasts with Steph Schrader, the clickety-clackety of the keyboard is very comforting. Nope. Status quo.
Oh, great.
All right, Jeff, what are you working on?
What am I working on? So it is Cub Scouts. We've heard that, all the fun that I do. It is Pinewood Derby car time. So over the week, I have been working on the Pinewood Derby car. I guess I will put a photo proof of this on the Facebook pages and the Instagrams and stuff. But every year, my Pinewood Derby car for the Daddy division looks like a three-pedal Mafia race car. So I am almost done this year's car, which is the one we're trying to sell, the Citroën.
Oh, excellent.
So awesome.
2 years ago was the boat. Last year was the Ombre. And I always make sure to decorate it with the adult themes. Like, I can finish adding the adult themes. Like, it was
there?
Like, no, like after there. So, like, last year it was Jeff's lawn service, and then I changed it to El Jefe's lawn service, and added that mowing all
kid appropriate.
Well, mowing it all until Trump builds the wall.
Oh, I suppose
1866 muff or I don't remember what the hell.
Trim Bush.
I'm really just worried about you showing up in the gimp suit to a Cub Scout meeting.
No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I was like, so what are you adding to the Citroën later?
The ball gag will go on later. But the I guess fishnet stockings will be there for the race.
Oh,
so,
and when people ask you what it is, what are you going to say?
Just going to say it's just decoration.
Okay.
So
weird decoration.
It's only for decoration.
Yeah, Josh still wants me to do the what does he call it? Oh gosh, I can't remember what he calls it. He says he doesn't call it Mr. Fister, but he calls it like you're supposed to do the thumbs up car or something like that. He doesn't call it Mr. Fister, but
a Pinewood Derby Mr. Fister car would be hilarious.
No, we won't be doing that.
Hey kids, Mr. Fister.
Although your whole neighborhood.
All my neighbors do, yeah. New this year is the lovely and talented Jennifer wanted a car for the dad division. It is a all gender, all sibling, all relative division, not just dad division. So I had to not only make Josh's car, I had to make her car too. So
what does her car look like?
Eric, what's up?
Yeah, so Josh is very into Teen Titans Go, and she did one of the characters from Teen Titans Go.
Okay.
So I see Eric and Mental both have questions for me, so go ahead, whichever one.
Go ahead, Mental.
Well, no, he answered mine. I wanted to know which 3 p.m. car he was doing. That was awesome.
Excellent. So one of my favorite Lemon stories that you have to get Phil wound up about is the Boy Scout Pinewood Derby that was held at a Lemons race that also happened to overlap with a burlesque show on a flatbed trailer.
This sounds so like a Lemons story.
Only at Lemons with the story.
Only
at Lemons.
Yeah. So next time you see Phil, ask him about that because his descriptions are very vivid and entertaining.
This is adding to the list of stories that we need to get Phil to tell us when drunk.
Absolutely.
I feel like I forget them. You keep telling us all the ones we're supposed to look into, and
that one and Nelson's Legends.
Legends, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So I will do the one technical part about the Pinewood Derby. If you don't know, it's all about the axles. It's all about getting the wheels straight. And I broke the number 4 drill bit, which is the perfect size for the BSA axles. And I'm telling you, shopping for a wire size drill bit, not too easy. Had to go around a lot of places for it.
I was going to go back to Eric's comment. I'm noticing a lot of Phil's stories are showing up at the end of the Lemons wrap-up videos, and it's in a dimly
like him in the
hotel room, and it just
doing robot arms.
At any moment, like it looks like one of the surveillance videos from Cops. They're all just going to burst in there and everybody on the ground.
And then Phil yells something about nihilists.
Nice marmot. Chris, what are you working on?
Well, tonight I changed the differential oil in the Mercedes, mostly because the car's been yelling at me. You 136 miles past service D. And so service D just means it's going to take 4 hours. And then you go into the computer and it says you need to do service items 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. And then you look up in the book what 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 are. And 5, whatever one of them is, change differential fluid. One of them just check everything. But because it was 62 degrees tonight and not raining, and I just gotten home and Chrissy wasn't home yet, I took that advantage to change that differential fluid. And for a car with that much power and it's that heavy, it only took like just under 2 quarts of diff fluid. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but
Any special kind of diff fluid? Or?
Oh yeah, it's made by virgins in Tibet. I don't know.
Smells like friction modifier? Or...
Oh yeah, all the above. So I did that.
For comparison, what's your Suburban take?
I don't know, a couple gallons.
Corn oil.
Corn oil. Sawdust.
Yeah, that's about right. It's a Dana 60. It'll run on
beer.
Smells like
beer
steak.
And eagle feathers.
Seats 35.
Right.
So this weekend I built some large shelves into the utility room in the basement, as we have a utility area that was mostly occupied with this random like faux fireplace thing that was in the basement when we bought the house. You're supposed to put an insert into it so you have a fake fireplace wherever you want one. We just, when we moved in, had to do the basement floor and just stuffed it in the utility area and said, And so now we said, we should get rid of this. So on Craigslist, 12 hours and $50 later, it's gone. And so now we have shelves.
Nice. Love a Craigslist sale.
And we also unboxed and stacked the 2,400 pounds of flooring that we bought last week because it needs to climatize.
I was listening to last week. You never actually mentioned where that floor is going.
Everywhere.
Almost the whole first floor.
First floor.
Everything but the den on the first floor.
Yep.
And the bathroom.
Everywhere.
So that's it.
Excellent.
Mental, what are you doing?
Mental, you're up.
So, busy week for the No One Cares Etowah Eagles marksmanship team.
Woo!
We went up against the defending state champs last Tuesday on my birthday, and we predicted that they were going to crush us, and they absolutely did. But my team shot an all-time team high, and like no one could remember when they scored that well. And then just tonight, we went up against the team that is threatening the defending state champions for the region championship, and they set another new record. Teams never shot this good before, so they're really coming along. So, yay, nerdy marksmanship stuff. All right. Got to put in new garage doors. Been working on that, and I'm deliberately taking my time because that is just something you can't get wrong because when they bind up, it's just always bad news. And I got another motorcycle. I kind of boomeranged a motorcycle. I had a 1999 Yamaha V-Star 650 that I got with 13 miles back in 2000. Rode it to Sturgis, rode it all over, sold it to my best friend. My best friend sold it to my dad. My dad rode it to Sturgis in 2015, we took it to Sturgis in 2015, and now he's decided that he's too old to ride, so it is back in my garage.
Is this the one you dropped off your trailer at CMP?
No, that was the BMW, and that totaled it, and then it got stolen. This is a cruiser. It's a entry-level twin-cylinder cruiser.
Yeah, don't know two-wheelers at all. Yep.
It's just funny. It's come back all the way back circle 17 years later.
The only thing I know about two-wheelers is, even after owning a couple, is that Harleys are dumb.
And I don't have a Harley.
Work has been super busy. We've had a ton of crashes, which and a couple actually bunch of rollovers this past weekend.
Listening to the show? Why did they not listen to the show?
Apparently not.
They're not hearing just the tip.
Well, they're not. No, it's probably a good idea. Actually, I don't really want all my drivers to be hearing this. So they have been. So since when drivers actually they've been distracted a bunch. Most of the rollovers have been because they were distracted. So we have a bunch of initiatives that we have to put out and try to figure out how we can stop all of this madness. And I feel like I shouldn't complain about work because Jeff always has the best complaining about work schedules.
Oh, that's been rather normal lately.
Oh, that sounds nice. Well, I've been working late nights and I worked all weekend and I did a bunch of speeches and blah, blah, blah. So, and then we've been trying to keep stuff clean around the house, and we've been watching the Olympics because I like the Olympics and I think it's fun to watch random things, sports that we don't know anything about.
Yay, sports ball.
Wait, no, I mean, we watch curling tonight. There's all kinds of stuff that I'm just learning about. No, no balls. Rocks.
Yay,
I watched.
I
watched 3 different sports. I didn't understand the scoring in every single one of them. I turned it off and I haven't gone back yet.
Oh, we watched snowboarding yesterday, and I don't know, it's fun. Yeah. Skiing. Okay, and the last thing that I don't know if this is an even appropriate place for it, but I was asking, how is the Citroen paperwork?
Well, I'm actually glad you asked. In preparing for the barber race, I actually did some stuff before I went, and then all you fruitcakes didn't bother asking me for 3 weeks. So I called little Rhodey and I spoke to a lady, and she said in her gravelly voice, "Honey child, if we cashed that check that long ago, you ain't gonna see it. Send us another one."
Wait, what?
So they cashed the check for the title search like 4 months ago. Yeah, 5 months ago. I don't know when it was. And she said, if you haven't received it, we lost it. Just send us another check.
Holy crap!
I
did you do the paperwork
again?
She said,
love her honesty. We took your money. We didn't give it.
Yeah,
you paid for.
We clearly lost
it again. Give me money again.
Give me money again. It was like $10. It doesn't matter. But she said, send it attention to me, and I will take care of it. So I should see that soon.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
I really would like to get rid of that.
It'd be really great.
Yeah.
Yes. It's our last piece. So.
Okay.
And then of course, like New Jersey will reject us for some stupid reason.
Oh, don't say that.
You didn't put it on pink paper.
Jersey, that's why.
Oh,
yes.
I hope not.
So that's team news, but do we have real news?
Well, Eric,
we do.
What are you working
Who's
on?
red?
What about Eric?
Work. Oh, sorry, Eric, I missed you. Eric, what are you working on?
Well,
there's this other guy sitting around here.
Yeah, it's weird. The guy who looks like he's in the hostage video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drum roll.
So lately I've been working on the 24 Hours of Lemons, which sounds like kind of a, don't you always do that? But I got hired to work for them full time, so now I am now a full time employee of Lemons.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So
great. What's your title?
Eric. That's his title. He's the Eric. He was a natural fit for the position.
The new jerk, pretty much.
He had a beard. That was helpful.
Yeah. I guess I am the only one at HQ now who has a beard. That's weird.
Phil shaved his beard off?
Phil does it?
Phil's not a full-time.
Phil's not at HQ.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Phil's a freelancer.
He goes for that handlebar thing a lot too, doesn't he?
Yeah, man, I miss Shaggy Phil. Shaggy Phil was like amazing.
I like this Confederate general sideburns that he had for a while.
That's that look he always manages to rock. Yeah,
yeah. Phil General Ambrose Burnside Gridden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I'll be doing a lot of
the morn finds me longing for the sound of your voice as I listen to the 6-cylinder BMWs explode in glory.
I feel like Phil is probably the reason Lemons was popular at CMP so much, just because he looks like a Confederate general. Like,
they're like, yo, he's home. That's great. Let's follow this guy.
Mostly I'll be doing some of the marketing stuff with Lemons and also some of the behind the scenes stuff, but still trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to be doing. And yeah, jumping into a new job. So
Cool.
it's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, let us know
So
if
do you have
you're the
to
one we should
move for
hassle
this?
about stuff instead of Eric.
Yeah.
Or instead of
Hey,
Nick.
Eric, am I in? Can I be in? Can I park there? What am I supposed to do? When do I
Yeah,
show up?
so I feel like I'm
Thursday?
probably
I don't
going to
know what I'm
be
doing.
I'm going to be the guy who probably ends up inheriting all the RV questions. That's probably what I'll. It's like the new guy hazing.
Are these
like,
numbers good? I can't tell.
I feel like I should get you a bigger coffee mug and start keeping it in the RV than for,
You're gonna need it.
for races.
No, now you're going to be working. You can't drink with Johan.
Well,
Oh no, you can still
I
drink.
don't know if that's
Johan.
true.
That's actually
Okay.
a job. That's in the job description.
Is
You
it?
have to go drinking with Johan.
I think it's the opposite might be true. What's up, man?
So you have to move like your home and family and things for this, or do you live in the Bay Area? I don't even know. You said
I
you're
live
at
in-
HQ.
No, I live in I'm an HQ employee, but I'm still living in Chicago.
Oh, got it. Okay, that's all I want to know.
all right.
Cool.
Well, hey,
Is that it
fantastic.
for what you're working on? We'll move on to news and notes.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's-
as you heard here first, breaking news a couple weeks ago, last time Eric was on, Yokohama is
Dun,
now
dun,
the
dun.
official tire sponsor of Lemons,
Whoop,
which is
Woot.
a strange decision on their part, but okay, fine. No
Strangely
problem.
awesome decision.
Yep.
Hashtag they should totally sponsor us.
Totally sponsor us.
Today I actually went on Yokohama's website to look for tires that would fit our car, and apparently they make the E1R R23 in the size the Civic needs. And then I go to Tire Rack to look for it, and it's not there.
Yeah, they don't have it.
Sad
Womp
trombone.
We just need wider wheels, so
Yeah, they don't even have any
Bigger.
15s at all.
bigger wheels.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have any room.
I know.
Fender flares.
It's
More
already
flare.
it's already pulled pretty.
It's gonna get
And
pulled harder. So
Tommy,
hey,
bolt on fender flares. What?
so maybe we'll see some at some point coupons or something like that, and that would be wonderful. Yeah.
Eric, get to work on that.
Yeah.
You're the marketing guy.
You're not doing anything else. Come on.
Yep. That's totally actually that is coming. I don't know exactly when, but Yokohama's PR
Is that
people
an
are going to be.
exclusive?
I mean, I put it on the forum today, but yeah, we can call it exclusive.
You heard it here second.
Our 11
So-
listeners heard it here
Yeah.
first.
And
Yeah.
half of them probably saw it on the forum earlier.
Probably true also. So the Yokohama's PR people are going to be at Indy Motorsports Ranch this weekend for the Lemons race, and I'll be there on Saturday with them. So we'll be working out some of those details.
Cool. Jeff.
Another question, and this is probably more Eric Rood, but I know they get naming rights for some of the races. Are we going to get bland names, or are we going to get funny names?
They're actually on the website already.
Yeah.
They're not,
yeah.
they're not
Changed?
bland. They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
Good.
The three of them, I think, are something like, bafflingly presented by Yokohama. And then there's the Yokohama Joliet Prison Break at Autobahn.
Nice. All right, so someone in
Mm,
Yokohama's got a good sense of humor. I like it.
yeah, they're totally on board with. They're awesome. The one guy, their motorsports guy now, Drew. He raced with Spank, so he's a genuine
Yeah,
article.
enough
Oh,
said.
wow.
Enough said.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We
All
like
right.
those kind of people.
Fantastic.
All right.
Jeff.
I think I have the next one.
Yeah.
So while we were driving through Alabama and Georgia looking for a bar to watch the Super Bowl on, we completely missed that there was there was an app that Mercedes, it had to do some sort of commercial, and there was an app and you downloaded it, and during part of the game you had to use your finger to keep a Mercedes, follow the Mercedes with your finger, and the person who kept their finger on it the longest was going to win an AMG C43. So all you had to do is take the app. You're all like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. The game started. I don't know, a football game or the game. And immediately it crashed. They weren't ready for the servers. Nobody could play. Everyone started tweeting at Mercedes, my app's not working. I need to win the car. So yeah,
It's
it
a
crashed.
C43. I mean, come on. Or
Yeah,
C63.
No, 43. C43.
Oh, 43. That's still murder for that.
Yeah, it totally didn't work. Everyone who registered, they're just going to pull a name out of the hat and still give someone a C43. So I guess all's well that ends well. But yeah, they sucked at the app. Somebody named Dieter should have made the app because it would have worked then. That's for sure.
das ist wichtig.
Oh, okay.
All right,
All right, well,
what's up?
By this time, it's old news, but Hurley Haywood has officially come out, and good on him. It's I think Steph wrote the article that I read about it, and it was the world's motorsport's worst kept secret. But it's just nice that in an age where people are feeling alienated and isolated, and they're doing horrible things because of it, Hurley agrees to open up a very personal part of his life just to try and help someone else feel like they belong. Jeff.
I read the article too, and probably the coolest part is the reason he came out. So
absolutely,
if you want to cover that, go ahead.
Well, no, and everyone should go to Jalopnik and read the article Steph wrote, and it was a reporter was there interviewing him, and it's one of those things people knew, you just didn't talk about. And in the middle of the interview, the reporter just comes clean and says, "I've been in the closet. I feel alone and isolated and terrible." And so Hurley just opens up to him and says, "Hey, here's how it is, and it's not who you are. It's not how you should be measured as a human being." And his mother said, your words really helped him. He had really been contemplating suicide. He was in a dark place, and you kind of straightened him out. And he said, "Well, then if I can help that one guy, then maybe I can help another." So he came out in public, and that's exactly not for glory, not for, oh, hey, by the way, my new book's coming out, but because he wanted to help people.
Yeah, and it was like 6 months or a year later that the mother tweeted at him that she saved her son's life, and it really it touched him, Mm-hmm. Hashtag, it gets better, right?
Don't touch people.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. Who's got the next story?
It's all me. Sorry, I hogged it out.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland Speedway in Tennessee's for sale. That's just a cool 1.25 mil. Anybody? Can I borrow that? How's the Citroen paperwork?
It's an oval track, so no.
What kind of track?
It's a dirt track, son.
Yeah, you
Can't
lost.
we
You
just
don't
make
care
that in
so.
somebody's backyard? Like, do you really need to buy one for 1.25 million?
You need
Like,
parking.
they just.
Well, when Jeff lived on the mountains, then we could. But
I feel like you could probably just find somebody's lawn and just make it.
I think as we've all seen the way that motorsports places get built these days, buying one that exists now that already has the paperwork done and the neighborhood's happy, probably worth every frickin' penny.
They're not necessarily happy.
That's true.
You need the beer license to make those things profitable. And then the last one, I hate to end on a dark note, but we had an instructor and a student. One got killed, one got hospitalized down at Roebling Road. And, three of us are instructors. Guys, you can't get complacent. It was an experienced 70-year-old guy in a Porsche Club of America event, knew what he was doing.
Yep.
And I'm not casting anything on there because God knows I've done it, but you get a student, they know what time it is, and you tend to let your guard down. And unfortunately, it's one of those situations where they got in over their head. And I know the big thing with NASA, and I'd like to talk about this next week. Grid Life is introducing some new HPD stuff. But we talk about not grabbing the wheel, and I do not subscribe to that philosophy, especially if my hot pink body's in the car. So, yeah.
Well, apparently the driver had a medical issue, which is what caused him to do nothing at the end of the straight. So
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and it was a privately owned car by the driver.
Correct.
And we're talking about an uncaged street car on a racetrack.
But any modern 911 is capable of ludicrous speeds at this point. So
yeah,
absolutely. Non-modern 911s. My old 99, for Pete's sakes. Yeah.
I call that modern. If it's got water in it, it's modern. So I guess I get the next story. I feel like the entertainment reporter here, because all of my things have something to do with television. But there was this new video that came out. I read it on Jalopnik, of course. Hashtag you should sponsor us. But Lexus has a new color. It's structural blue. They're releasing 300 structural blue edition Lexus LCs. Imagine this. It's the same car that is in Black Panther, which gets released this weekend. And it seems to be blue in the movie. So I guess it's blue. The article said the word blue like 87,000 times. I'm going to read this directly. It reflects light into itself in such a way that even though none of its base materials are technically blue, they reflect blue light into your eyes. It's described as bluer than blue. So all the pictures, guess what it looks like? Blue.
A blue car.
It's a blue car. Exactly. I have no idea if we're losing something in the pictures, but it's like the wings of a butterfly and the molecular shape makes it reflect blue. Whatever. Science. New blue car. Chrissy, got a question on this one?
Why is this news?
I don't know.
You lost us in I Don't Caresville, Jeff.
You lost me and I don't care.
No. I'll tell you why it's news.
Somewhere around wings of a butterfly. I don't know.
It's I don't care blue, actually, is the color.
The reason it's interesting is because you can't believe how absurdly amount of technical BS goes into Lexus telling us they just made a blue car. I'll post up the article and you'll be like, who the hell thought this was a good idea?
I can totally believe that. I've read enough press releases and talked to enough PR people. That's totally believable.
Like, who's the jackass at Jalopnik who's like, oh, this looks like a good story. Let's release this.
No, they just thought this was going to be the next. Is this car blue or is it tan? We can't tell. It's an internet phenomenon. Which color is the car or dress?
But remember, they had like the Vanta black that was blacker than black, and I don't know. It's freaking blue.
Okay.
BS.
I just thought it was cool because
Jeff,
it's.
You know, it's a much better story than this.
Yeah.
Your next story.
Oh, my next story.
You missed my lead-in. That was so good.
Sorry,
that
wasn't my lead-in that I was going for. Yeah, sorry. So I was going to say that I was recently watching a YouTube video because obviously I have nothing to do at work these days. That's a joke. And I saw this new channel, VinWiki, and I clicked on it because Ed Boylan was on it. And Ed Boylan is a hero of mine because he is the current coast-to-coast record holder. And he was telling this story.
There's some debate about that, but okay.
Yeah, there is. There's definitely debate. We won't get in that. That'll be a whole nother show. But he was telling this story on VinWiki, and it was about how Amex got declined because the algorithms that American Express has was completely convinced that there is no way that his credit card traveled from that city to that city in that much time. And we know because we know all the flights and we know all the everything. And no, sir, you are not there getting gas. And he had to kind of tell the Amex people, no, I promise you, I am here, and stop flagging my credit card. And I thought it was a great story because we've all been there as racers. We've had to get that 55-gallon drum filled with super, and our credit cards are just like, no, done. You're not doing that anymore.
And I'm gonna give you a good one here. Do you know who actually has also been on that VinWiki? Joe Moore from Extreme Experience.
That's right.
And he's been on a few episodes.
They are actually the title sponsor. So I got to hear Joe Moore do the read of the commercial. And I'm just going to do an impression right now. It was what we call an upread. And Extreme Experience puts you in the driver's seat of some of the world's best supercars at over 20 racetracks, coast to coast, with no speed limits, no shifting restrictions, and no governors. Head to xxspeed.com to choose your supercar, find a racetrack near you, and start making a story of your own. 7 models of exotic cars and supercars to choose from, 20-plus tracks and a year-round location in New Orleans, with a 3,200-foot straightaway, pro instructors like me or Mental or Chris, how that's pro, I don't know, and in the car, helping you explore the car's limit and helping you learn how to drive the racing line. And I was so impressed that I was just watching this thing and all of a sudden I heard them read it that I was like, I'm doing the next read.
Well, hey, but to that end, you forgot the most important part.
I did. It wasn't actually in the notes here, but if you go to xxspeed.com and if you put in the discount code Everyone Racers, that's Everyone Racers, no space, on xxspeed.com, a single car experience, you can get 25% off. That is not an error. 25% off your xxspeed.com on your next driving experience.
The cruise in Arizona this weekend, but in April they'll be here in Atlanta Motorsports Park, and you can come meet me because I'll be there working. They're going to be hiring my junior RTC crew again, so fundraiser for us. Good on XX Speed. Thank you.
Mental, we don't want to dissuade people from going, so don't.
You can ask me not to be in the car. You can say anyone but that
not
Mental
that guy.
That costs
not
extra.
That guy.
The best part is when Mental takes off his helmet and his hair is like perfect, you're like, that guy right there must be Mental.
So I have a super quick story about this. My mom texted me this afternoon and says apparently my youngest sister has her permit and she's working towards her license. Her driving instructor is an extreme experience instructor.
Who?
Really?
Like her driver's ed guy.
Right.
No, seriously. Who?
Yeah, right. Hold
No,
on.
that's his name. That's his name. Driver's ed guy.
Driver's ed
Okay,
guy,
okay,
right?
yeah,
So I said, and so he
Driver's
said,
ed bot.
He's a really nice guy. So finally, she didn't know his name, and then she got it later. And I just asked her now. Apparently, his name is Todd.
Todd.
I don't think didn't get his last name.
Okay.
So then she said, "Can I give him a sticker?" Earlier, and I was like, "Yeah, give him a sticker." And so she
Absolutely.
said she gave him a sticker, and then he asked her, my mom, how to download a podcast. Oh. So I don't know, Todd. Somebody rather, maybe you'll be our newest listener. So,
Do you know who absolutely always knows how to download a podcast and bake delicious good things?
Who,
Chrissy's
Mental?
mom.
Who?
Chrissy's mom.
yay.
Excellent. Hey, listener, how about some listener feedback? Chrissy, do you have any aside from from your mom? No.
I got nothing.
All right.
Nobody answered my question because I asked everybody what they did on V-Day, and nobody answered me. I probably didn't make it prominent enough.
I've got a good listener feedback. A regular listener, a Chrissy M, felt that when listening to the live episode, especially after followed by our last episode, that drunk Chrissy is much funnier, more animated, and laughs at everything, and that she's much more subdued during normal shows. I also had feedback from a listener, W. Christian W, and he also noted that she's a more engaged interviewer and yet less engaged at reading copy. So there's some feedback from our listeners, folks. Thank you very much. Mental, what do you have?
So Chuck, one of our Inglorious Bastards guy, sent me a lovely text. He says, "It's official. I'm a subscriber now. Hence,
Yay.
we're in the 11s of listeners.
Yay.
I don't have that long of a commute to the shop, so I try and listen to catch up when I can, usually about 15 minutes at a time. But 3 episodes in, he's a subscriber. But this is the part that's going to make Chrissy very happy. P.S. Tell Chrissy thanks. Her bit on tire pressures helped remind me to get my wife's tires rotated and balanced. Of course, I took all the credit for doing my manly duties. But heck, when you get my age, sometimes you need something or someone to remind you to what you've forgotten. So there you go. Well done.
Nice.
We're helpful.
So, any more listener feedback before we move on to the main topic?
So nobody said to you, Eric, why are you on that show with those pack of clowns?
Shit, I didn't tell anybody you were gonna be here.
See, he is smart. SMRT.
Oh my. Let's move on to the main topic. We brought the bearded beauty of wherever the Chicago, the Windy City here to talk about one thing and one thing only, because he doesn't have any listener feedback and he doesn't work on crap. And it is the Lemons rallies. I know we originally said we were only going to talk Retreat from Moscow, but we are definitely going to talk about that Great Lakes thing, whatever the hell it's called.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are.
We're here specifically to wrap up the Retreat from Moscow, but Mental, you want to go ahead and read this?
So as mentioned last month, Eric, thank you so much. Before we ran into you down at Barber, so we have, if you have not noticed already, Auto Journo Extraordinaire, now full-time Lemons employee, part-time Lemons judge, full-time dad, and all-time awesome dude, Eric Rood. You're here to talk about the Lemons rally. So we actually mentioned our favorite cars that we saw up at Barber. That was just awesome. I love that rally ends at that race because it's a great start to the whole season. So now you're back, Eric. As we mentioned, because you won't learn your lesson, you do still look like you're trapped in your own basement. But I did actually go and run the numbers. You being on the show, our most downloaded episode. So,
Woo!
Yeah,
I am so sorry.
Like
that's the case.
Great.
I mean, someday when you get Wrangle J into being on this, it'll blow me out of the water probably. Or Phil, actually. Phil
Phil's
might
going to get us an E. Yeah. It's going to say when iTunes sees that Phil Greedon is guest host, we're just getting an E right then. We're not even. Yeah. They're not even going to ask.
Just get them wound up about Nelson's ledges. Never Nelson ledges. Always Nelson's ledges.
Nelson's ledges.
Oh, okay.
So let's review what we know. We know it ended at Barber. I think we already mentioned who won and some of the awards, but we didn't mention most of them. Should we run down? We already said what our favorite cars were a couple episodes ago. So What do we want to start with? We want to start with the winners, or we want to start with some stories? How do we want to go?
Well, what do you guys want to hear about? I mean, because there were 68 cars, 66. I'm sorry. And all of them were entertaining in their own way, right? So, it's so hard to even start. You guys talked about.
Can we go like day by day? You want to talk about best, or do you want to do like best? Well, let's go with our notes here. What was the biggest fail of the event?
Oh man,
could be a car failure or a
personality failure.
Personality failure or whatever.
You know, nobody got kicked out of their car this year, so that was good.
You mean like stop on the side of the road, get out? I'm tired of dealing with you. That happened.
Yeah. Almost.
Almost.
It happened, but the guy didn't get out of the car. That was last year. It's a long story. You can ask me that one over a beer next time you see me in person. But,
excellent.
No brawls in the parking lot. No, nothing.
No, nothing like that. The biggest fail was probably the winner's mechanical failure. So I don't know how much you covered last week, but the team that won, they did an engine swap in an AutoZone parking lot in the middle of the rally, which was fantastic.
That's pretty.
What was the ambient temperature and weather? Because you guys up north, that was some ugly weather. Checking everybody on Instagram.
Yeah, this was in North Carolina, and it was like the one warm day, like right before it turned crappy. So it was like 50 degrees. Yeah. So they had a 63 Impala that they had pulled out of from behind a yard and unfrozen the engine. And
you were talking about that on the episode, soaking it in marble mystery oil, because you knew it was going to be a disaster. This is going to be such an elegant disaster.
And they knew it was going to be a disaster. And actually, their plan, if they hadn't been winning, they would have just done this. They're all guys who swap LS engines like religiously, like that's their thing. So they're just going to limp it to a junkyard.
Give us the number. we need some of them guys.
Yeah. They're in Pennsylvania.
All right, sweet. Yeah. Once Ombre gets that Class B win.
That's right.
So never.
So anyway, so did they get an LS or what did they do?
No, they ended up getting another like a straight six out of a Chevy truck.
Oh.
Yeah. Just because that was what was in it. And then they didn't have to worry about redoing the exhaust and all that crap. But yeah, it took them only like 3.5 hours in an AutoZone parking lot, which is kind of amazing.
That's awesome.
That is.
So 3.5 hours is amazing, period.
Yeah.
Throw in AutoZone parking lot. That is legitimately impressive.
Well, fortunately, it's about the simplest engine in the world is the old Chevy straight six. There's 3 wires, 3 hoses, and some like a manifold. Done.
But it weighs as much as my Suburban. I mean,
what did they do about engine crane? Or just lift it?
I think they...
rent it or
drop it.
AutoZone, you can rent it.
Yeah, they rented everything at AutoZone. That was the
hashtag. They
part.
should totally sponsor us.
Yeah. So
they
usually
one strong guy.
Yeah.
Usually, like you do like a ton of work in an AutoZone parking lot and you get chased off at some point. But like when they were done, like the AutoZone manager like came out and was like hugging them and stuff and like congratulating them.
Well, sometimes they don't have anything going on, so maybe this is like the best thing that happened all day.
This is like rural North Carolina, so yeah, there ain't much happening there.
But I'll still give props to that manager. Good on him, because obviously he's supporting his gearhead community. Because gosh, how many times did we get chased out of a parking lot on the old Babe Rally?
Well, actually, we've discovered that if you try and buy stuff right before they close, and then just kind of hang out in the parking lot, they all leave, and you could work all night, set fire to the parking lot. Nobody cared.
Put it out. We'd set it again.
Fire it out. It's on fire. Fire it out. So actually, I was talking to little Dave Mills before the winners were announced, and I said, gonna win, dude. What's up? And he's like, man, we did everything we can, but that motor swap, man, that has got to be worth a lot, and I just don't know. Even though I feel like I've done everything I can on the road and gotten every point on the road, I can't live up to that because my car didn't hella brake enough.
Yeah, the scoring is kind of subjective. I can't, pretend it's not or anything. It's lemons. I mean, what are you going to do? But yeah, the engine swap, I think we both decided, and I think everybody on the rally was also on board that like that was
Yeah,
hands down,
even
gonna
Dave
win.
he was like, well, I guess I'm going to lose to them, and I kind of deserve it because, man, that engine swap was amazing.
Yeah, but Dave's and every time I saw them on the road, like I was just laughing hysterically because like people in traffic were just dumbfounded by the whole 4 dudes in a Mustang convertible with the top down in 25-degree weather.
Totally.
In snowmobile suits, scattering bird seed all over the road. I loved it. I loved every video.
Dressed as and decorated as Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow, yeah.
That name again,
It's
Mr. Plow.
It was.
Wow.
It's like they took like 9 different themes and shoved them into one car. It was great.
And dear listeners, you can find Dave on Instagram at Caddy Wrecker and go back, look at his Retreat from Moscow post up on Instagram because they are hysterical. It is just great.
He worked hard for the win, and he was okay not coming in second because that is the win, really.
He made it, so good. So what of all the challenges you guys did, what do you think was the most fun challenge? At least for you. I guess watching everyone else.
Well, I was dumb enough to run into the water for the polar bear plunge. Steve and I
And how'd that go for you?
We saw that on Instagram.
It was
That's
so
awesome.
dumb. It was so dumb.
Because
was
what
there
happened later?
shrinkage?
Oh man, shrinkage. That doesn't even begin to describe
Like
that
a
situation.
frightened turtle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if I understand correctly, there was points given for every member who jumped in, right?
It was just one per team.
Just
or
one
100
per
points
team had to
Oh,
get in.
just
All right,
one.
got it.
Yeah.
And did any teams participate / not participate / no, I don't need those 100 points, or was it kind of everyone did it?
Yeah, there were some people who were like, you know what? That's 100 points. I'm not going to win anyway, or whatever. I'm not here to win. I'm here to go out the valley. Like, I'm not that
Very
dumb.
good. Oh, not
Yeah.
there.
100 points and hyperthermia.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
It's not that
The
bad.
flu that Eric got afterwards.
It wasn't that bad. The
It
worst
wasn't
part
that
was
bad.
just that this suddenly had sand and everything, like in the rental car that I had. So like the whole thing, like I returned it. It looked like vagrants had been living in it for, like on the
But
beach
weren't
for
you-
like 3 years.
They had. Isn't that
Yeah.
really what
Yeah,
happened?
feel like that's
in
not
a
wrong.
way, vagrants had been living in that way. I mean, it was you and McDaniel. Oh no, McDaniel was in his Jeep, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was me and my friend Duncan was co-driving with me. But
Okay.
What kind of fabulous rental did you have and destroy?
it was a Hyundai Santa Fe.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And it
quite
was
horrible.
returned in far worse shape than I took it in. And the dude who returned it at the rental place did not even look at it. He was like,
Oh, that's
"This
good.
is fine."
He doesn't
Wait,
care.
Whatever.
What, for future reference, what company was that?
Hashtag they should sponsor us.
They're a company I rent from regularly. So
Oh, okay, so we'll
I'm not
shut up.
gonna.
Yeah, good. All right.
Enterprise.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. No,
So,
No.
not at all.
So,
Rhymes
was
with
there anything
Mavis? No.
was there a challenge that didn't go as expected? I know we make a lot of plans, and
Well,
then
I think-
either people knock it out of the park so hard that you're like, damn, I thought that was going to be hard or whatever.
I think the polar bear plunge was the one that we got more people doing that than we thought. But the glider challenge that we did at Kill Devil Hills, where you had to scrounge stuff to build a glider for your mascot, I think that went. It didn't go the way we thought. It went way better in an entertaining way because
That's
we thought,
fantastic.
oh man, people are gonna build like real gliders and stuff. The hell did not. Like they would just like like the dudes whose mascot was like half of a mannequin. They just put a tarp on it as like a cape, and then they threw it as far as they could. And the guy was wearing one of the Tyrannosaurus Rex like costumes while he was doing it. Yeah,
I saw that one on Instagram, and I saw like people using parts of their car. They're like, I'm just gonna throw this door.
Yeah. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, it was like there were like 4 people who actually like built gliders that kind of worked, and then like everybody else was just throwing things for the sake of
It was the
throwing things.
discus. It was a discus throw. Just
I have to say that was one of the most entertaining parts on the Instagrams.
Yeah.
I really loved seeing all those pictures and seeing all the stuff, and that's where I really started to understand the mascot. And I told Steve McDaniels at the race, the mascot was just a brilliant choice, and he
Yeah.
should keep that up.
So you've been doing this Lemons gig for a while. You work for him full time, and you've been with this rally thing. On this rally, what surprised you? What did you just not see coming? That even after all your jaded years of seeing crap cans do things they're not supposed to and parking lot engine swaps, what just either tickled you or offended you or kept you up at night staring at the ceiling?
I don't think anything offended him, let's be honest.
Seriously.
All right, fair enough. He hangs out with us, so yeah.
I think the surprising thing was the quality, and that's in quotations, the quality of the entries. Like,
Totally agreed.
We expected there would be 10 or 15 people with, whatever, like a 2004 Mazda 3 or whatever the case may be, just driving the route to drive the route. And we ended up with legitimately 3/4 of the field were serious hoopties that probably would not have passed inspection in states that have inspections. So I think just the people are getting it so quickly, I guess, is the surprising thing. This is only the 4th rally we've done, and already people are figuring out that a big station wagon or a conversion van that you cut half of it off and put stacks in the back is
It's the way to go.
This is the way to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a
or hearse,
weekend.
or
hearse.
yeah.
Mhm.
That drag. What was it? A Nova, 4-door Nova, with
Yeah,
the freaking
Dude, that thing was
Ford
that thing
9-inch and the
tight. That was, oh yeah.
turbo big enough to swallow your thoughts.
Seriously.
But was rolling on the black Steelies. Oh yeah,
Did you see the
got my
gauge
inner
cluster?
redneck going on
Yeah,
that.
in the tissue box.
The gauge cluster was in a tissue box on the dashboard. It was
So
Oh,
It was
yeah,
so
the
good.
boost gauge and everything.
Yeah,
I-
I think go ahead, Ron.
I just parked as that thing drove by, and it was literally I'm bent over getting my bags out of my car because I just got into the track, and I heard it drive by, and it's like my people are here. Where just a prairie dog. I was like,
It had that sound that just it jiggles your guts, and it was like, damn, that car is
suddenly-
built.
I needed to listen to Leonard Skinner on cassette. I don't know what it was.
How did you even do
Yeah.
So
that? Sorry.
I'm going to return us to the question again. Eric, is there anything that you learned that maybe is going to modify future rallies, maybe without giving away too much? I know Steve McDaniels comes up with most of the penalties and hoops to jump through. We'll say
Must
that.
and kill your own wild animal. and wear
But
it.
is there anything
Wear the hide.
anything
You
you
have to
went
use
write
your-
that down?
your,
We're using that next time.
Yeah, you have to use your tire iron to defend yourself in rural West
Get
Virginia.
the bear. You brought a bear.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit down and reflect on this one a little bit. Steve's the brains of the rally. And
That is the most frightening thing that has
it
ever
is,
been said on
because-
this show ever.
yeah, Steve's a very twisted man. But
And I'm not saying, he's not. It's not that he's not smart. Yeah.
he's just sadistic, and it's great. So
Chris,
Steve
Give
drives.
me your German pronunciation. What is that? Scheuden?
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Thank you.
Steve is pure Schadenfreude.
Good.
Well, I know one thing we're probably going to steal from one of our one of the competitors on the rally was they called the Lemons Rally the speed dating of tourism, which is so perfect. So probably steal that straight up. But yeah, Steve comes up with all the ideas just because he's constantly driving by himself across the country and just thinking up
I got a lot of
crazy
time to
things.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is he circumnavigating the Great Lakes as we speak, coming up with challenges that have to do with Tim Hortons and other Canadian things? Like, I know I'm struggling trying to think of Canadian things.
Yeah. Hey, you will not badmouth
Poutine.
Tim Hortons in
The
both.
poutine. How did I forget poutine?
You will not
Poutine.
badmouth
Poutine.
Tim Hortons or Canadian bacon in the presence of Eric, myself,
How about
or the
Labatt's?
phantom presence of Steph. Yeah,
What'd you
all
say?
day long. You can
Labatt's?
badmouth Labatt's.
Oh,
Canadians
Labatt's.
don't like. Canadians don't like. Is that the lovely and talented Jen that just snuck in the corner there, Jeff?
It is.
Please tell her that all of us say hello, lovely and talented Jen.
I will.
Okay.
So who is wrecking the Great Lakes Rally?
Yeah, that's the rally we just announced last week.
It was like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah,
But I'm still going to say exclusive because our 11 listeners, probably didn't hear about it.
they don't know any better.
No.
It's fine. Yeah, so we're after the race.
Okay, listeners. So the lovely and talented Jen just walked in, placed a few things in Jeff's podcasting room, and as she walked out, turned the lights off. You're done. Go to bed.
You don't need lights anyway. Sorry about that.
It's good to be loved. But anyway, so
after Gingerman, we're gonna meet. The plan is to leave from Gingerman, though we're still working that out with the track.
is it like a Monday morning thing?
But at least somewhere in Southwest Michigan. And yeah, it'll be morning to Saturday.
Eric, your internet is sad. You were slow.
Oh,
All right. Well, hey,
It's Chicago internet, but you
That's
did you
fine.
just say you're still working with the track on Gingerman? So you guys going to leave out of there on Monday?
yeah, it'll be Monday to like Saturday, and then all the way around the Great Lakes. Stops in Wausau, Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie,
So this is
somewhere
actually
near.
the first international Lemons Rally.
It is the first time Lemons is visiting Canada at all. So that's
Oh.
probably the last too.
Probably, yeah,
the last.
exactly the
This is
last.
probably where we get outlawed.
Yeah. Well, this is a perfect segue to our Hella Sweeter but Terrible for this week, though. Actually, Mental, you're the one that came up with the idea.
Absolutely. As soon as I got that, and I'm going to tell everybody it was a personal email, even though I know it was a forum email from Eric that said, hey, we just announced this new awesome rally. So, folks, go to the 24hoursoflemons.com webpage, look up the Lemons Rally, and you can see it. It's the Great Lakes 2018. And we talked about this way back about 8 episodes ago. We all met because of Lemons and because of crap can rallies, and that's how we all got to be friends and whatever this sad thing has become. But I threw the link up on the notes page and I just put underneath it, let's get the band back together. It's summertime. I'm out of school. Let's go to another country. Let's go and be banned in perpetuity from Canada. Let's do something stupid. Hella sweet but terrible. Let's go do the Lemons Rally. What do you say around the table, Jeff?
So I definitely want to do this very badly. The only question is can I get enough time off? Because I do not get all summer off, and it is 6 full days plus probably 1 on each end, so probably 8 full days. I definitely have already been thinking about which car to do and who to do and everything else. So I might have to. I might have to hold on to the Miracle for just a little bit longer and make it the only car that has ever done the Babe Rally and Lemons Rally ever.
Ooh, I like where that's going. Mm-hmm.
6 days, 2 sweaty dudes in a Miata. What could go wrong?
No failing that plan.
No failing that plan at all.
Chris.
I think it's a wonderful idea and would love to do it. I'm in the same boat as Jeff. I don't think I've got the time off to take this year, especially with the wedding that we have. It's going to take a lot of time. Taking 6 days to do that, it's probably not going to work. Although I'd really, really like to, because it seems like a great route and it seems like a lot of fun. And I've even already picked out the kind of cars I would want to find to go on it.
Ridiculous. You just added this. I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
What?
Eric, I'm hearing a whole lot of it's not you, it's me. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. It's not you, it's me.
Because Eric, is this coinciding with the Lemons race?
It starts the day after a Lemons race. So
It's crazy.
I was just going to throw out really bad ideas. Bring the Ombre, bring the Civic.
No.
No. I would do that for the retreat from Moscow. I would not do that for around the Great Lakes.
Yeah. I would bring the Civic to try to go for a win at Gingerman. But
not on a week-long race in that Civic. No.
Yeah,
no, you would be dead.
Because
No.
no, what we do is I get the crappy conversion van that still has functional air conditioning, and we just rotate out.
Just rotate
No.
them.
When you've just had enough, you get in the van and you cool down.
No, because if I were going to do this, I would do it in an appropriate condition, Porsche 928 or a W108 Mercedes. That's like an early 70s S-Class.
Yeah,
because those
I
are
love that.
nothing but class.
W108s are
Oh.
perfect.
Who are you
I love the theme.
Nobody,
of the
because I'm not
Porsche
going, but I would love
928.
it.
All right.
We could totally
No,
do risky business and then have another team in a Cadillac be Guido the Killer Pep and just chase us around everywhere. That would be awesome.
Yes.
I think both of those would be wonderful Lemons Rally cars, and I've always wanted both of them, but I never have an excuse to do it. I mean, it's not like I can bring the NSX on this kind of thing anymore. So,
Oh, you can. You just will lose horribly and set a new record for most negative points in a Lemons Rally.
pretty much.
That sounds well. Then that means we're not going
No.
skinny dipping in the pond.
No.
All right. I may have to be the lone holdout and we'll do a podcast live from the road in the middle of the Lemons Great Lakes Rally. Cause I saw this and got all kinds of giggly, and I've got Vicky, who has a history of making bad decisions since marrying me, almost on board with this. So we're at 55 minutes. I'm being warned here. And Jeff, I'm sorry I'm stepping on your toes, but
No. Chris, I want
Eric,
you to
feel
do
free to jump in into this one. But it's
I was-
time for okay,
No,
what's
not
up?
yet. Not yet.
Why?
Relax.
Why?
Chris, I want you to push the button that I just put into the notes and check this out.
Seriously?
It's a full airbag system for the W108.
Oh,
Select the second picture
snap.
on that. Now you're going.
All right, well, why don't we let Chrissy start with just a tip?
Seriously,
while we
I've
look
got
at
a
this?
lot.
How about that?
I have a long
Okay.
topic today.
All
It's
right,
everybody's
all
favorite
right.
It's everybody's favorite section. Just a tip.
Just tip, go.
Just a tip.
Wow.
Hey, here's
Yeah,
a way to
like-
make it go faster. Don't interrupt Chrissy. Stop.
Okay. So this last week we discussed keeping warm while racing, but we didn't really talk about how to be safe while working on a car, in a garage, enclosed trailer space, all that stuff, which we do terribly in our paddock. And there might be more stories than I should know about that might have happened in our paddock. So let's talk propane heaters. They are a fantastic way to keep your garage usable, which we are totally going to need in our garage sometime soon. So propane's better than kerosene, packs more power than electric, and there's no need for electric plug, so propane's great. And if you
It
have
has
natural
accessories.
gas, no accessories. If you have natural gas already pumped into your garage, you can use one of those, but maybe not. Ventilation, huge thing. If you have any kind of heater, you need to have ventilation. Even cracking a window could be enough, because even if you're losing some heat, doesn't really matter, because hopefully your heater is helping with that. So ideally, you need to figure out how many BTUs you really need. And if you are such a dork, or if you care that much, you can figure out how many BTUs you actually need, or you should just probably wing it. And I Googled all this, and says you find the cubic feet of your space, then estimate how cold it is outside, and then your goal temperature, or that's just too much work.
Bigger
So-
the number, the better. Bam!
So, all the heat. Okay, so a couple different options of what heaters can come in. Forced air propane. It's like a little jet pack. It's like a little circle. I did a whole bunch of research on this, actually, in the Dino Glow or Mr. Heater. Totally the best ones. Everybody
That
says.
name again?
Dino Glow.
Dino Glow or Mr. Heater.
Mr. Plow.
Mr. Heater. So you can have a convection heater, which is used in smaller garages, but it heats 360, so it looks like a little burn barrel type thing. Again, Dynaglow, Mr. Heater, can't go wrong. And you can also use wall mounted. They're good for small garages, where space is limited. They aren't as powerful. They are Mr. Heater, definitely the best one. If you want to use electric fan forced, the Fahrenheit FUH whatever. That's totally. So
FU whatever.
FU whatever. Yes, just look for. If you just Google this stuff, you'll find all the things I'm talking about. A couple of the big things are to look for the safety features like Cool Touch or a wire guard, protects the hot surface, an overheating automatic shutoff, and a tip over switch sensor. My summary of all this stuff: use the right kind of heater. Don't use an indoor heater outdoors, or indoors and outdoors, and read the freaking manual. Go ahead, manual or mental.
The first one you talked about, our garage that we had in Oklahoma that we all shared a shop. That is exactly what we used, and we would get to the point where we'd be
The
down to our
fuck?
t-shirt. The first one, the flaming cylinder. And we would get to the point sometimes where we'd be down to our T-shirts in the middle of winter because that is an effective thing. But like you said, pay attention because it's basically fire in your garage full of flammable things.
Isn't that what Bruce just found on the side of the road?
I was just going to bring that up. I was going to say the beer delivery panda just stole 3 of these on the side of the road.
Actually,
I want one.
He didn't steal them, I don't think. But...
Sure.
Okay.
Well, he's like, they were there and no one was around. So I figured they didn't want them.
What was his cover story?
Why is
there was somebody was doing a video. They were recording a video in some garage, and so
like
they
TV
left
production
him there.
or something. They left him there.
Like
Right. Yeah.
Sure, they weren't coming back for him at all.
Fell off the back.
Hey, they left.
Hey, that's how I ended up in a half magic janky trailer. So good on him.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, Bruce, bring me one. I want
Don't
it.
die.
Does anyone else have anything for the good of the order? Mr. Rood, anything to say? Do you want to plug your other podcast?
You really should
Oh
plug
yeah,
your other
I'm on
podcast.
another
Like anything?
podcast.
I was listening to that one the other day. You guys had a really good episode about when you guys were talking about Daytona, and I haven't gotten to the, Steph and her infamous "Fu Barber." It's downloaded on my phone. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
That's every episode with her.
This is
That's the DFL show.
DFL show. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thanks
Anyone
for being
else?
with us, Eric.
Yes, thank you, Eric, and thank you all for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, or building because everyone can be a racer, even you, even Steph, just not at Barber. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe with iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. If you have questions or want to give us some show ideas, drop us a comment. No one's ever given us a question.
No.
They've commented, but no questions. Anyway, comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or like our race team Facebook, 3 Pedal Mafia, or Lemons Race Team. If you'd like to help us produce the show, donate to the cause at patreon.com or hashtag sponsor us. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless, like us, there is no shiny side, then just keep the wheels down.